Okay, so if you've ever gone online looking for advice about your hormones, you know it is a total minefield, right? It's confusing, a lot of it contradicts itself. Well, today, we're going to cut through all that noise and get to what's real.
I mean, you see this stuff all over the place, these promises of a simple fix, some special drink or supplement that's going to magically reset your entire system. And it sounds amazing. It sounds so easy.
But that whole idea of a quick fix, it kind of makes you stop and think, right? Before we can fix anything, we really have to get what it is we're talking about. How does it all work? And what does balanced even mean for our bodies?
All right, so first things first, let's talk about that word balance. We're going to move past the buzzword and get a really clear picture of what's actually going on inside our bodies every single month. Let's break it down. Think of your hormones like your body's own internal text messaging service. They're these little chemical signals that travel through your blood, telling every part of you, your brain, your muscles, your organs, what to do. They're basically the master conductors of everything.
So when we say hormonal imbalance, it's not just a vague feeling of being a bit off. Nope. It's a real, measurable state where your body is making too much or too little of one of those key messenger hormones. It's like the volume is turned way up or way down, and that can have very real effects.
And this right here, this is a total game changer. Dr. Natalie Crawford just nails it. The goal isn't to have your hormones perfectly flat and balanced every single day. A healthy body is supposed to have a cycle. The change, the fluctuation, that is what's normal. It's actually necessary.
So if it's not a flat line, what does this monthly rhythm actually look like? Well, a great way to think of it is like a hormonal symphony, where different hormones get their moment to shine at different times to create this incredible monthly cycle.
It's this really cool step-by-step process. First, your brain sends a little signal, FSH, down to your ovary saying, hey, let's grow some follicles. As one of those follicles grows, it starts pumping out estrogen. Once that estrogen level gets high enough, it triggers a different signal, an LH surge, which is basically the green light for ovulation. And then, after the egg is released, the little structure left behind starts making our final key player, progesterone. It's a beautiful domino effect. And this is what creates those two totally different vibes you might feel during your cycle. The first half is the follicular phase, that's estrogen's time. You might feel more energetic, sharper. Then the second half, the luteal phase, is when progesterone takes over. Your body's getting ready for a potential pregnancy, so it's totally normal to feel a little more tired, maybe a bit hungry.
Okay, this is so important to understand. You hear this term estrogen dominant thrown around like it's a bad thing. But in the first half of your cycle, you are supposed to be estrogen dominant. It's not a problem. In fact, it's absolutely necessary. That high estrogen is exactly what tells your body it's time to ovulate.
Okay, so if all that up and down is normal, how do you know when something is actually wrong? How can you spot when that natural rhythm is truly off-key?
This is it. This number right here is your single most important vital sign for your hormonal health. Before you do anything else, track your cycle. A healthy, regular cycle usually falls somewhere in that 21 to 35-day range.
So yeah, if you notice your cycles are consistently shorter than 21 days or longer than 35, that's definitely a sign to pay attention to. Other big clues can be really persistent acne that just won't clear up, or maybe some new hair growth in places like your chin or chest. These are often signs of higher androgen levels.
And if you're experiencing those things, the irregular cycles, the acne, the hair growth, well, the most common reason for all of that is something called polycystic ovarian syndrome, or PCOS. What it does, essentially, is mess with ovulation, getting your body kind of stuck in that first half of the cycle.
And here's a really interesting way to picture what's happening. Your ovary is a little hormone factory. If it's not getting the memo to ovulate and make estrogen and progesterone like it's supposed to, it can get, well, bored. And when it gets bored, it might start making extra testosterone instead. And that's what causes those symptoms we just talked about.
All right, we've talked about the what and the why. Now let's get to the good stuff. What can you actually do about it? What's the real, evidence-backed plan for getting your cycle back on track?
And look, the real foundation for getting things regulated isn't some magic pill. It starts with your lifestyle. Eating a balanced diet with whole foods gives your body the right building blocks. Regular exercise is huge for insulin sensitivity, which is crucial for ovulation. Managing stress is also key. And because fat cells actually produce estrogen, even a small amount of weight loss if needed can make a huge difference.
Now, that lifestyle stuff is powerful, but you don't have to do it alone. This is where getting medical support is absolutely key.
A specialist can do blood tests at the right time in your cycle, maybe an ultrasound, to really figure out what's going on. And if you need it, they have medications like Clomid or Letrozole that can help your body ovulate.
Okay, I have to give you a really important warning here. You might see progesterone supplements pushed online as a way to balance your hormones. But if you take progesterone before you've ovulated, it can actually stop ovulation from happening. You could accidentally be putting yourself on a form of birth control without even knowing it.
So, when you boil it all down, what's the big takeaway? It's this. Real hormonal health isn't about chasing some magic potion to achieve a flat line of balance. It's about understanding your body's incredible, dynamic monthly rhythm, and then learning how to support it.
Ultimately, getting to know your body is the most powerful first step you can take. So I'll just leave you with this question. Now that you know a little more about this amazing hormonal symphony, what's one small thing you can do, starting today, to listen more closely to your own rhythm?